Lateef Jakande. Born Lateef Kayode Jakande in the Ekpetedo area of Lagos Island, Lagos State on July 1929. He studied at the Lagos Public School at Enuowa, Lagos Island, then at Bonham Memorial Methodist School, Port Harcourt, King's College, enrolled at Ilesha Grammar School, where he edited a literary paper called The Quarterly Mirror. Jakande began a career in journalism in 1949 with a daily service and joined the Nigerian Tribune in 1953. The owner, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, appointed Jakande editor-in-chief of the Tribune in 1956. Jakande established John West Publications in 1975 after leaving Tribune and began to publish the Lagos News. He served as the first president of the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, NPAN. Jakande ran for election as executive governor of Lagos State in 1979 on the Unity Party of Nigeria platform. His administration was effective and open and implemented the cardinal policies of his party. He introduced housing and educational programs targeting the poor, building new neighborhood primary and secondary schools, and providing free primary and secondary education. He gave poor people's children education, and many of them are now very prominent in the society today. Jakande established the Lagos State University and constructed over 30,000 housing units. After the military takeover in 1983, Jakande was charged, prosecuted, and convicted of treason and later pardoned. He served as Minister of Works under the Sani Abacha military regime. He died in Lagos on February 11, 2021. Lateef Jakande was the first civilian governor of Lagos State. Lateef Kayode Jakande, SOUQ Enlightenment, the heart of sub-Saharan Africa, where commerce meets progress. Welcome to SOUQ News, your source for business, economy, and development insight that drive nations forward. From the vibrant streets of Lagos, Africa's fastest economic hub, SOUQ News takes you on a journey of discovery, analyzing and reporting the facts that lay the foundation for growth and development. We don't just report the news, we create it. SOUQ News is more than a channel, it is a catalyst for change, spotlighting the story.
Hello and welcome to News Hour on SOUQ News Television, your choice station for developmental news from Nigeria and beyond. I am Grace Komolafe. Before we begin, let's take a look at the major highlights of the bulletin. Remember to follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the latest updates from around the world. Moving on to start the story, it is worthy of note that SOUQ News Television has been recognized as the best SME-centric station of the year in an event hosted by the Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria, ASBON. The event, with the theme Collaborative Initiatives Strengthening Networks for SMEs, which was held at the Civic Center, Lagos yesterday, shines a spotlight on the achievement of small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, across the nation. In an opening address, Asborn Ambassador and Chairman of the event, Otumba Bimbo Ashiru, shed light on the innovative effort of SMEs in building strong partnerships and networks that enhance their market competitiveness and sustainability. The award ceremony not only provided a platform for recognizing outstanding businesses, but also facilitated a forum for networking among entrepreneurs, investors, and policymakers. The president of Femi Wash Media Limited, Ambassador Victor Wash Oluwafemi, represented by the Vice President, Dr. Idahosa Osamazi, in his acceptance speech, expressed gratitude to Asborn for acknowledging the station in 7 small and medium-sized enterprises in Nigeria, adding that the recognition was a testament to passion, hard work, and perseverance. Other awardees include SMA Most Friendly Governor of the Year, won by Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and Payment Card Network Processor of the Year went to Visa Nigeria. Moving on, the federal government is set to provide subsidies to developers and operators of solar mini-grids in unserved and underserved areas across Nigeria through a World Bank-approved loan of $750 million under the Distributed Access Through Renewable Energy Scale-Up DAS project. The financing agreement for this loan project, signed by the Minister of Finance, Wale Edu, on March 31, 2024, and World Bank's Country Director for Nigeria, Shubham Chowdhury, on February 19, 2024, aims to bolster electricity supply in households and macro, small and medium-sized enterprises, MSMEs, through private sector-led distributed renewable energy initiatives. The loan will facilitate minimum subsidy tenders and performance-based grants to selected developers, top operators of isolated and interconnected mini-grids, as well as solar rooftop solutions. This initiative also includes support for standalone solar SAS systems with grants targeting rural and underserved areas to expand access to electricity and promote solar productive use in MSMEs and agribusinesses. And now, amidst a challenging global operating environment, 36 companies have proposed a combined total dividend payout of 3.056 trillion naira to shareholders. Dividend distribution remains a crucial method for companies to share profit with shareholders, often through cash payments or additional shares. Given the turbulent economic climate, dividend payment stocks have become increasingly attractive in Nigeria, reflecting a prevailing belief among investors that returns on investment are fundamental to business or investment strategy. Notably, Dangote Cement proposed a dividend of 30 naira per share, amounting to 511.23 billion naira. Zenith Bank offered 3.50 naira per share, totaling 1.886 billion naira, and Boa Food paid 5.50 naira per share, totaling 99 billion naira. Other notable dividend payouts include Guarantee Trust Bank Company, 2.70 naira per share, given 79.464 billion naira. United Bank for Africa, 2.30 naira per share, summing up to 78.658 billion naira, and Lafarge Africa, 1.90 naira per share, totaling 30.605 billion naira, among others. In another development, the managing director of Okitepupa Oil Palm PLC, Taiwo Adewole, in Abuja, says Nigeria can reclaim the top position in the becoming of oil palm producer nations if the government creates a conducive environment for agribusiness to thrive. He said the country has no reason to import palm oil for whatever reasons, urging the government to invest in local farmers to create an economy for the local producers instead of pressure to make foreign exchange available to bring in processed palm oil. Adewale argued that Nigeria should be sufficient by producing enough for its local consumption and then exporting, stressing that the current production level is lower than the local demand, likening one of the challenges to the insecurity in the country faced by farmers. He stressed that the country should focus on regaining its #1 status among the coming of palm oil producing countries. And now, the Nigerian Safety Investment Bureau, NSIB, has entered into a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with the African Aviation and Aerospace University, AAAU, to enhance accident prevention and mitigation in Nigeria's transport sector. In a statement signed by NSIB's Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Bimbo Oladeji, the collaboration aims to foster facility sharing, capacity building, and joint effort between the two entities. The agreement grants AAAU access to NSIB's facilities, promoting mutual advancement in aviation safety, and AAAU's registrar commended NSIB's support, highlighting the partnership's pivotal role in advancing safety and excellence in Nigeria's aviation sector. Nigeria's Minister of Works, David Umahi, says the completion of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway will introduce toll charges averaging 3,000 naira per vehicle. He explained that this estimate is based on an assumed average daily traffic of 50,000 vehicles, with cars paying around 1,500 naira and large trucks around 5,000 naira. The minister stressed that these figures represent an average cost, while projecting that the toll revenue would recoup the initial investment within 15 years, countering criticisms regarding the road's budget. Umahi also mentioned plans to implement security measures and include facilities like filling stations at the toll gates for added convenience. And as read earlier, SOUQ News TV has been tagged Business Enabler as it bags the SME-Centric Station of the Year Award at the Nigerian National SMEs Business Award, NSSBA, held yesterday in Lagos amidst fun fair. Blessing H. bring you more details.
Small and medium-scale enterprises, SMEs in Nigeria, benefit from the support of various players in the business ecosystem known as the organized private sector. These include the financial sector, media, and other key actors within the SME value chain. In recognition of these critical partnerships, Association of Small Business Owners in Nigeria, ASBON, launched the Nigerian National SMEs Business Award, NNSBA, in 2021. This year, ASBON, in conjunction with Lagos State Government through the Ministry of Commerce, Cooperative, Trade and Investment, held the 4th edition of the awards in Lagos, celebrating outstanding business enablers. The ceremony drew significant participation despite being held on a public holiday. Representatives from Lagos and Ogun State governments, banks, industry leaders such as President, Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, Dr. Kenneth Okpara, MD/CEO, Bank of Industry, Dr. Olasupo Olusi, Trade Association, and other stakeholders all attended, emphasizing ASBON's resonance within the private sector. The event's chairman, Otumba Bimbo Ashiru, who is ASBON ambassador and chairman, Odwa Investment Company Limited, highlighted the importance of SMEs and commended ASBON's dedication.
Government has sought national benefit, stand to benefit significantly by providing SMEs with the right business environment.
Representative from the Lagos State Government, Olugbemiga Aino, Permanent Secretary of the State Ministry of Commerce, Cooperative, Trade and Investment, outlined initiatives aimed at empowering SMEs, urging them to utilize technology and available resources. There came the high point of the awards ceremony, a time for honor to be given those due. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State received the SME Most Friendly Governor of the Year 2024 award in recognition of the state's unwavering support, including financial assistance exceeding 8.2 billion naira to over 12,000 SMEs, while SOUQ News picked the award in the category of SME-Centric TV Station of the Year. The station, alongside other awardees such as Visa Nigeria, Bank of Industry, Leadway Assurance, Jumia, Gigi and Wema Bank expressed gratitude to ASBAN for the recognition.
Very proud that the commitment, dedication of the team of SOUQ News and the entire Femi Walsh family had been able to get a recognition from the Association of Business Owners in Nigeria, recognizing the little effort that we are making in 1 year of operation. And so we have
one thing to contribute your quota, in the industry, understanding that Nigeria is predominantly an SME growth-driven country. Being able to contribute, by creating products, services that help businesses, small businesses and small business owners thrive has been a joy for us. It's one of the things we enjoy doing.
We feel honored, elated to receive this prestigious award.
And of course today, this award further reiterates Wema Bank's commitment in the MSME space.
It's testament to the importance of doing something that is not usual, doing something that is not ordinary, and being particular about the development of your country, which is essentially what SOUQ News has done over the last 10 to 11 months. And it's testament to the power of visions and the person of the visionary Ambassador Victor Olufemi Walsh, right? And then, the team, folks like you, folks like my other colleagues that are put in the work required to drive a vision such as this. So it's inspiring.
And the objective underscoring the celebration of business enablers through Nigeria National SMEs Business Award and what it helps to achieve. President of ASBAN, Dr. Femi Egbeshola speaks.
We're now having, particularly with the theme of today's award, is going to open up another opportunity of further collaboration with us. I am happy to let you know that as we were here today, the Federal Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment sent us a message that they want to partner with us the more beyond what it has been, because they were following us on your channel through your streamlining. And that to us is another wonderful opportunity and what a wonderful.
SMEs contribute about 50% to Nigeria's GDP. The fourth NNSBA has altogether served as a platform to acknowledge SME supporters in Nigeria and strengthen collaborative networking among entrepreneurs and stakeholders within the SME ecosystem. Blessing A.G. SOUQ News.
Congratulations to us all at SOUQ News. And I must say that SOUQ News Television, it is a key thing for us, and going forward, we will be pushing for business and, of course, developmental projects. All right, moving on to the next story. Away from Nigeria. Okay, I'm taking the story still from Nigeria. The Nigerian Shapers Council, NSC, has reassured that its proposed implementation of a 1% freight stabilization fee, FSF, at the nation's seaport will not increase the cost of doing business. The Executive Secretary, Barrister Pius Ukeyima Akuta, while speaking, emphasized that a thorough cost-benefit analysis of the fee demonstrates that it will not contribute to port costs, but rather supports the Council in fulfilling its statutory responsibilities. He explained that adhering to the freight stabilization fee is essential to avoid potential sectoral challenges that could arise from neglecting the Council's mandate functions. Additionally, he advocated for discontinuing the port development levy, aligning with recommendations from the Oronsaye report that emphasized the Council's self-sufficiency without requiring subventions for funding its operations. Moving ahead, the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has issued a ban on the sale of Turkey-made Dex luxury bar soap due to non-compliance with cosmetic products regulations containing butyrphenol methylpropional, which poses risk to reproductive health, unborn children, and skin sensitization. NAFDAC emphasized caution, highlighting that the product lacks authenticity in its database, urging importers, distributors, retailers, and consumers to exercise vigilance and discontinue its sale for use. The Commission advised submitting any remaining stock to the nearest NAFDAC office and reporting adverse reactions or suspicious of substandard productions. Additionally, NAFDAC warns about counterfeit Tandak injection powder discovered in Gombe State, manufactured by Intraxin Pharmaceuticals in Gujarat, India. And this is for candidates preparing for 2024 JAMB. The Joint Administration Matriculation Board, JAMB, has announced that availability of the 2024 UTME notification slip containing vital exam details like date, venue, and time. Candidates for the 2024 UTME beginning April 19, 2024 are urged to print their slips before the exam date to avoid delays. JAMB spokesperson Dr. Fabian Benjamin directed candidates to print their slips from JAMB's website using their registration number. Printing can be done from any internet-enabled computer. He added that this will assist candidates to familiarize themselves with their exam centers. The 2024 UTME is scheduled from April 19 to April 29, 2024. And away from that, Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi San, has unveiled plans for comprehensive justice sector reform aimed at enhancing access to justice for Nigerians. This was revealed as part of the discussion at the joint summit organized by the Federal Ministry of Justice and the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA. The summit, which is scheduled for April 24 to 25, 2024 in Abuja, aims to address challenges hindering legal effectiveness under the theme repositioning the justice system, constitutional, statutory, and operational reforms for access and efficiency. It is also aimed to foster reforms ensuring equitable justice delivery, notable legal figures, and as well seek to refine the national policy on justice 2024-2028 and propose legislation to streamline judicial processes and enhance accessibility. A recent report by the Center for Global Development, CGD, has highlighted the progress and challenges faced by the World Bank and 6 other multilateral development banks, MDBs, in addressing global issues like climate change and broader reform initiatives. The report evaluated advancement on 28 specific reform items across 5 categories, emphasizing the expansion of mandates to include global challenges, but also noting significant hurdles in areas like capital efficiency and mobilizing private finance. The lead researcher, Nancy Lee, emphasized the uneven performance among MDBs, stressing the need for comprehensive advancement to sustain reform momentum. And major shareholders, including the United States, have urged MDBs to prioritize climate initiatives and enhance lending efforts, echoing recommendation from groups like the Group of 20, G20. And now we take a break and return to more stories. Please stay with us.
Broad Street. Broad Street, situated in Lagos Island, is steeped in Nigerian history. Once the biggest financial hub of the country, it housed the headquarters of major banks, linked to CBN, the stock exchange, and the loads of lender companies. Broad Street is a historically significant street. It has played a central role in the development of Lagos and history, an important commercial and administrative center for the British colonial authorities. It was also a home to some of the city's earliest modern buildings. Broad Street was a residential area in the pre-colonial era. With the British came the Methodist Boys High School in 1878 and the Broad Street Prison in 1882, renamed Freedom Park. The General Hospital, which was a British military hospital, was built in 1893. being the first general hospital in Nigeria. The old British Secretariat building, which is now the Federal Ministry of Justice, was built in 1906. Broad Street has seen a full turn into modern commercial office blocks, complexes, skyscrapers, and markets from the outer marina through Akpombo, early into the Adeliji-Adele Road. Broad Street is one of the busiest streets in Nigeria on weekdays, where commercial activities take place day and night. From modern buildings to ancient structures, this street gives one a raw dose of life in Lagos. Broad Street is often referred to as Lagos Financial District. It boasts a mix of architectural styles, reflecting its long history, colonial-era buildings, Victorian and Edwardian architectural features, alongside more modern skyscrapers and structures. Broad Street remains a vital, vibrant part of the Nigerian economy. Broad Street. SOUQ Enlightenment.
Welcome back, and moving right away from Nigeria, Kenya has put forward a regional maritime treaty proposal aimed at easing tensions between Ethiopia and Somalia over a recent agreement allowing Ethiopia to establish a naval base and gain port access in Somaliland, a semi-autonomous region of Somalia. This lease agreement, signed on January 1, stirred defiance from Somalia and raised concerns about further destabilization in the Horn of Africa. Koker Singh Oya, Kenya's principal secretary for foreign affairs, disclosed that the proposed treaty, developed in consultation with Djibouti and the regional bloc IGAD, would regulate how land-blocked states in the area access ports on commercial terms. The treaty aims to provide Ethiopia with stable and predictable access to maritime resources while respecting Somalia's territory integrity. Efforts are on the way to encourage dialogue between Somalia and Ethiopia to resolve the dispute swiftly, particularly as Al-Shabaab militants exploit the situation to undermine the Mogadishu government's sovereignty. And still in Kenya's Drug Regulatory Pharmacy and Poison Board, PPB, is recalling a batch of Johnson & Johnson's children cough syrup following Nigeria's similar action on the same product under the Benylin Pediatric brand. Nigeria's health regulator cited laboratory tests revealing a high level of diethylene dichloride and a substance linked to child's death in Gambia, Uzbekistan and Cameroon since 2022, marking one of the deadliest episodes of oral medication poisoning globally. The affected batch, manufactured by J&J in South Africa in May 2021 with an expiration date of April 2024, prompted the board to advise halting sales of specific batches and returning them to suppliers for investigation. Kenville, now owning the Benylin brand, post-spin-off from J&J, has yet to comment on the matter despite requests for clarification. And in Libya, Libya has surpassed Nigeria as Africa's leading crude oil producer, with a notable increase in output to 1,236 million barrels per day, BPD, as reported by OPEC's April update. This rise in production marked a significant development in the region's oil landscape, showcasing Libya's growing influence in the global energy market, while Nigeria retained its position as a major producer with 1,398 million BPD. Challenges such as oil theft and pipeline vandalism continue to impair its production capacity. The country's ascent to the top spot underscores its potential to shape the continent's energy dynamics and highlights the need for Nigeria to address internal challenges to maintain its competitiveness in the sector. European Central Bank ECB has opted to keep interest rates at a record high, indicating a stable monetary policy. Yet, it suggested the likelihood of a rate reduction in the coming months, possibly in June, due to concerns about declared inflation and economic sluggishness in the Eurozone. The bank's president, Christine Lagarde, who revealed this, also stressed the importance of data in policy making, given the uncertain economic environment, notably citing high U.S. inflation. He acknowledged U.S. developments, but emphasized the differing economic condition between the Eurozone and United States. The bank stance underlines a wider policy divergence between the Eurozone and the U.S., with the Eurozone facing economic stagnation and weak inflation, in contrast to ongoing growth in the U.S. Monetary adjustments are targeted to tackle each region's specific economic challenges. The U.S. Senate Commerce Committee has announced plans to conduct a hearing next Wednesday featuring members of an expert panel that issued a critical report in February on Boeing's safety culture, demanding significant improvements. This hearing follows Boeing's ongoing safety crisis stemming from a January mid-air incident involving a 737 MAX 9, leading to management changes and production restrictions by U.S. regulators, causing aircraft deliveries to drop by half in March. The committee will hear testimonies from 3 panel members, including NASA safety culture expert Tracy DeLinga, MIT aeronautics expert Javier Delois, and aviation safety expert Najmeddin Meshkati from the University of Southern California. Senator Marian Cantwell, committee chair, expressed interest in the expert panel's report and intend to prioritize their insights before summoning the Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) for further hearings. Boeing declines to comment on the upcoming hearing. Moving ahead, Japan's annual core consumer price growth is likely to have slightly slowed, yet persistent cost push pressures are expected to keep inflation around or above the central bank's 2% target for the second consecutive year, continuing to dampen household consumption. Economics predicts that the core consumer prices index CPI, excluding fresh foods but including oil products, will increase by 2.6% year-on-year in March, down from a 2.8% gain in the previous month. Analysts anticipate a moderation in price hikes, particularly in food items. Concurrently, concerns persist around the yen's persistent weakness, with the Japanese currency reaching 34-year low against dollar, potentially driven up import prices and exacerbating cost of living pressures. Despite hopes for external demand to counterbalance sluggish domestic consumption, exports are not exhibiting significant strength, even with the yen's depreciation. Ministry of Finance data expected on April 17 projects a 7.0% year-on-year growth in export for March, slightly slower than the previous months. And now the White House has announced that the Biden administration will cancel $7.4 billion in student debt for 277,000 borrowers. This move by President Joe Biden follows his recent announcement to ease student debt, benefiting at least 23 million Americans and addressing a critical issue for young voters, crucial to his re-election bid in November. This action by Biden, a Democrat, comes after the Supreme Court blocked his broader plan to cancel student loan debt last year, prompting him to pursue alternative avenues for debt relief. And in sports, the Minister of Sport Development, Senator John Owen Eno, has announced plans to ensure the early release of funds in preparation for the Paris 24 Olympics. The minister said early release of funds is important to facilitate a comprehensive preparation for the Olympics, adding that the government would actively pursue a partnership with private individuals and the corporate sector to bolster financial support, and affirmed the ministry's commitment to safeguarding well-being as plans are on the way to provide insurance covering for Team Nigeria athletes to mitigate risk associated with injuries and unforeseen circumstances. He further expressed confidence in Nigeria athletes and their potential to achieve success at the Olympics. That's all we can take for now. We bring you a recap of the top stories. As we call it a wrap for today, remember to follow and subscribe to all our various social media platforms for more timely updates. Many thanks for watching, and on behalf of News Team, I am Grace Komolafe. Don't forget, it's SOUQ Pulse right after now. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.